syempre matagal na tong cooler na to. Medyo huli tayo pero maganda naman yung testing na ginawa natin. Meron tayong extensive test na ginawa including benchmark tools like Geekbench 6, Antutu Benchmark, Extreme Wildlife Stress Test, at saka PC Mark Work. Yun yung 4 na synthetic benchmark test na ginawa natin. Plus, syempre na-gaming test din tayo sa mga light esports games kagaya ni Honor of Kings, Mobile Legends, yung slight heavier game na CODM, PUBG, plus the heavy games like Lord 9, Genshin Impact, tsaka Wuthering Waves. Tingnan natin yung thermals niya with the battery, the chipset, ang stability ng performance ng phone using our test phone which is the Infinix GT30 Pro. Nakadesign siya na pwede mo siyang lagyan ng cooler and meron siyang improvement with the performance. Pag bibili ka ng Red Magic Cooler 6 Pro, ano ba yung makukuha mo? So, syempre, makukuha mo tong cooler, bibigyan ka rin ng free finger sleeves. Pwede mong i-bundle nitong phone clip, meron kang USB, but you don't have the charger. With the specs, the cooler runs on 24 watts continuous power. Yung first time mo siyang pinlug sa USB, within several seconds, nag-30 watts siya. Gumamit tayo ng magandang watt meter to measure yung power na binibigay sa cooler natin or yung hinahatak ng cable. Ang nakaganda dito sa watt meter na to, pwede siya for USB-A or USB-C. Yung output niya dito, pwede ring USB-C or USB-A. Meron din siyang display. Yung advertise dito, napakalamig niya daw, up to like negative 16 degrees Celsius. That is for the most ideal conditions. Nasa air condition na room, may freezer ka, dun mo niran yung cooler mo, ma-achieve mo siguro yung negative 16 degrees Celsius. Kasi yung freezer ng ref natin, aabot yan sa mga ganyang temperature. Nasa mga negative 18 to negative 20 degrees Celsius, yung typical temperature ng freezer natin. Yung mga ideal condition na yun, mga testing na yun na ginawa ni Red Magic. Kahit na hindi mo maabot yung negative 16 degrees Celsius on your phone, makakaabot ka pa rin ng mataas na cooling effect dito. Aabot siya ng mga negative degrees Celsius. Yung noise level niya mababa lang, which is actually true. Kahit na nakaramp up yung kanyang speed, yung fan noise level niya is okay pa rin. 65mm yung height, tapos 59mm yung width, 28mm yung kanyang thickness. Yung weight niya is advertised at 110 grams, pero yung mineasure ko siya 107 grams lang. Meron siyang dual USB-C ports. This is for turning on the cooler. Meron din siyang USB-C for wireless charging, pero kailangan niya nung separate device para gumana yung wireless charging. Kung titingnan nyo yung cooler ni Infinix GT30 Pro, yung cooler mismo meron na siyang wireless charging. Hindi ka na bibili ng other device. May dual mounting options to, magnetic, pwede rin siya with a back clip. With the build quality ng mga parts niya, it's actually pretty good. Solid na solid. Meron siyang silicone pad dito sa likod. So, it has better grip. Sinasabi nila na it has an efficient heat transfer daw. It also helps protect the phone. Hindi siya magsascratch sa likod ng phone mo. Meron datong soft light effects with 16 RGB LEDs and 3 adjustable RGB modes. Pwede mo ring i-download yung GoPro app. Pwede ka mag-add ng mga devices doon via Bluetooth. Pwede mo ma-adjust yung cooling power niya doon, RGB. So, meron daw itong mga AI features na mag-automatically adjust ng speeds to avoid condensation. Pero, hindi ko nakita yun kasi niran ko yung cooler for like 1 hour. Hindi siya nag-adjust ng speeds and nag-condensation siya sa phone ko. Nakatambay yung phone ko, hindi na siya nag-games. So, hindi na siya masyadong mainit. And nakarun yung cooler at full speed. Natutubig na yung screen tsaka yung likod. And automatic daw siya nag-a-adjust ng speed to avoid condensation. Then, it's actually not true. Siyempre, gimmick lang yan. May AI kunwari itong device na to. So, meron siyang temperature sensor. Yes, makikita mo siya sa GoPro app. I'm gonna go ahead and note down na kailangan mo ng compatible charger. So, kumuha ka ng 45 watts or pataas na charger, yung compatible like Tranyu. Subok ko na. Nama-max out niya yung power ni Cooler 6 Pro. Other coolers, ginamit ko yung Nubia ZTE na charger. Gagana sana siya with our Red Magic Cooler. Kaso lang, nung tinry ko siya, yung maximum wattage niya is only 14 to 15 watts. Hindi niya abot yung 24 watts rated ni cooler. Yung ibang charger na tinest ko, etong 45 watts GAN charger ni Romos. I believe wala to siyang PPS na feature, pero meron siyang PD 3.0. I believe nag-run lang siya ng mga 6 watts for the Cooler 6 Pro. Ito naman, Esager, 65 watts na charger. GAN charger rin, meron ding PD 3.0, but wala siyang PPS, so nasa mga 6 watts lang din yung kinuha niya dito. Hindi mo magagamit kung ano-anong charger lang kasi super RT ng Red Magic Cooler 6 Pro. Actually, marirecommend ko rin tong Ugreen 65 watts GAN charger. Meron siyang PD 3.0 and PPS feature, which is the same with the Tranyu charger. And nakukuha niya rin yung maximum power ni cooler. I'll post a link sa mga chargers na to if you wanna buy them. Punta na tayo sa performance test. Once again, our device is the GT30 Pro with the Dimensity 8350 Ultimate. Geekbench 6 tests the CPU and GPU performance using real-world simulations. Yung CPU test natin is measured with single-core and multi-core scores through web, image, and compression tasks. Yung GPU test naman, it uses Vulkan or OpenGL ES to render 3D scenes, testing graphics, and gaming strength. Usually, Vulkan test yung ginagamit natin. Vulkan is more used on the current games natin ngayon. And higher scores means faster performance. Yung tinest natin yung CPU dito, it's actually consistent. Meron tayong high score pag gumagamit tayo ng cooler. Pag hindi tayo gumamit ng cooler, medyo mababa yung score niya. For the GPU naman, very inconsistent yung kanyang score. May mga times na pag ginagamit natin yung cooler, mataas yung score. May mga times naman na ginagamit natin yung cooler na mababa yung score. Mas mataas yung score ng walang cooler. The GPU test with Geekbench is very inconsistent, kaya hindi ko siya ma-consider na good result. Now, maganda lang naman i-test si Geekbench 6 with CPU. Mas magandang i-test yung GPU using 3D Mark Wildlife Stress Test. Special na yung Extreme Wildlife Stress Test with mid-range and flagship device. Punta naman tayo sa Antutu benchmark. Yung test na to gives an overall performance score for the device. It includes CPU, GPU, memory, tsaka UX. And maraming gumagamit ng Antutu. It's because overall na yung makukuha mo. The higher the score, the better the performance of the device. Yung wala tayong cooler, nakakuha tayo ng 1.33 million. Ito yung Antutu version 10. Hindi ko ginamit yung Antutu version 11 kasi minsan okay, minsan nagka-crash. So, ginamit ko yung mas stable na version from before, which is version 10. Even the new Xiaomi 15T and 15T Pro devices, hindi siya compatible. Yung ginamit na natin yung cooler, nakakuha tayo ng 1.43 million sa score. Tumaas tayo ng 100,000, which is pretty good. Nagpapakita siya ng solid performance gains with the improved thermals. And hindi lang yan once. Maraming times na tinest ko tong phone sa Antutu benchmark and it's the same results. Yung overall score niya tumataas pag merong cooler. Sa pangatlo muna tayong test, dito naman tayo sa PC Mark Work Test 3.0. Work 3.0 simulates daily phone tasks, browsing, editing videos, documents, and productivity. So, nakitaan ko rin siya ng slight performance bump with using the cooler, even at daily phone task lang. Dito na nga tayo sa Extreme Wildlife Stress Test natin. This one tests the GPU stability and throttling during long gaming sessions. It runs heavy 3D graphics, 1 scene per minute, and naglo-loop yan 20 times. The test would last 20 minutes, tapos pinapakita niya yung FPS, yung score, and stability. Yung 90% to 100% is gonna be excellent score, and 70 to 89% is good score. Yung 70% pababa naman yung score is heavy throttling. Nakakuha tayo ng 74.5% stability without the cooler. Nasa good score lang tayo, but with the cooler, naging 93.5% yung stability niya, which is a major improvement. Ito yung the best testing ngayon na pwede mong gawin sa phone mo para makita yung gaming performance ng phone mo, stability niya while using it with prolonged gaming, at saka yung thermal throttling niya. Kasi pag mataas yung thermals, pinapababa ng chipset yung performance niya para hindi siya mag-overheat. Very basic yan sa mga computer parts natin. Hindi lang sa phones, kahit na sa PC, and any other devices ngayon. Yan overall yung benchmark test natin. Kung ibe-base natin siya with the benchmark test, yung mga ganitong cooler na magaganda yung quality, really does improve your gaming performance. Especially na sa mga heavy 3D games. Tinest ko rin siya sa game, syempre. Doon tayo mag-umpisa sa mga esports games, kagaya ni Mobile Legends tsaka Honor of Kings. Kung di nyo pa alam, very light lang si Honor of Kings and Mobile Legends. Design talaga sila para maging very light game na pwede mong laruin sa mga budget phones. So makakuha ka ng mataas na FPS even though budget phone lang yung ginagamit mo. Meron ako mga device dito na naka Helio G99, Helio G100, Helio G200. Mataas yung FPS na nakukuha ko sa kanila. Nakakuha tayo ng mga 60 to 90 FPS and very consistent. Even lower graphics device, kahit na naka Helio G91, makakalaro ka pa rin ng Hawk tsaka ML doon na medyo stable naman. Using the Infinix GT30 Pro na may malakas na chipset, maning-mani niya yung graphics ng ML tsaka Hawk. Kaya niya mag 120 FPS and very stable kahit na hindi ka mag-cooler. Now, with our testing, meron tayong performance monitor here. Nakikita niya yung FPS, yung phone temperature natin kasama na yung chipset and battery dyan, tapos stability. Nami-maintain niya yung 120 FPS all throughout. Mula umpisa hanggang sa long gaming sessions mo, meron kang up to 120 FPS na hindi siya nagda-drop. Tapos yung stability mo mataas din, nasa mga almost 100%. Pero yung pinagkaiba lang lang yung temperature. Sa phone temperature, aabot siya ng mga 44 degrees Celsius or even higher kung mas mataas ka nang naglalaro. Yung nag-cooler na ako, pwede na siyang bumaba up to 31 to 32 degrees Celsius. Nasa 12 degrees Celsius na yung binaba ng phone temperature nang may cooler na ako. Pero, does it make sense na mag-cooler ka pa rin? Kahit na yung lalaro mo is Honor of Kings lang or Mobile Legends, yung mga gagaan na esports games. Worth it ba na mag-cooler? For me, hindi. Kasi yung Infinix GT30 Pro, maganda yung cooling niya inside. Yung vapor chamber cooling, it maintains a very good and stable performance. Yung FPS niya hindi nagda-drop, yung stability niya hindi nagda-drop, kahit na long gaming session. Yun yung napansin ko, kahit na wala akong cooler sa phone. So yun yung kaibahan. The phone itself can handle the light gaming sessions na gagawin mo kahit na mag-game ka ng 5 to 6 hours with Honor of Kings, CODM, PUBG Mobile. Pwedeng-pwede. Kaya niyang i-handle yung FPS na mataas, temperature ng phone okay lang, tapos yung kanyang stability. Ikaw, kung gusto mo na ayaw mo na ma-reach yung mga 45 degrees Celsius ng phone, ayaw mo na uminit yung likod ng phone mo, then pwede ka namang mag-cooler. Pwedeng yung Red Magic cooler yung kunin mo, or pwede yung 15 watts na cooler, 20 watts cooler, even the 12 watts na cooler na kasama na GT30 Pro, pwede na yun siya. Pag light games lang. Doon naman tayo sa heavy games. Ganun pa rin. Stable pa rin yung frame rates natin. Okay pa rin. Tapos yung thermals niya nasa 44 degrees Celsius din. With heavy games like Lord 9, Crystal of Atlan, Wuthering Waves, Genshin Impact, aabot pa siya ng more than 44 degrees Celsius. Actually, aabot siya ng mga 46 degrees Celsius, 44. Kasi depende yan sa temperature ng kwarto mo. And depende yan sa panahon. Kung mainit ang panahon, mas mataas pa yung heat na makukuha mo sa device mo. Yung nag-cooler na ako, bumaba na siya ng 37 degrees Celsius. Meron nga siya improvement with the temperature and mas mainam na gamitin yung coolers sa mga heavy games. Yun yung nagpupush talaga ng graphics with your phone. It also depends kung maganda ba yung cooling ng phone mo o hindi. Kasi nga, with the GT30 Pro, maganda yung vapor chamber cooling niya. So, it can still handle a more stable gaming performance compared to other phones na walang vapor chamber cooler, malakas yung chipset, madaling mag-init. Kung balak mo maglagay ng Red Magic Cooler 6 Pro sa device mo, make sure yung device mo is a mid-range device or a flagship device. Red Magic Cooler 6 Pro is a flagship cooler. Isa to sa pinakamalakas na cooler na available ngayon. Is made for Red Magic 10 series na phones. Nung nilabas nila yung Red Magic 10 series, naglabas din sila ng Cooler 6 Pro series. And this is also more perfect kung hindi maganda yung cooling ng device mo. Professional gamer ka and ayaw mo na matalo ka kung may unstable performance yung phone mo, then you can get a cooler for that. Kung very competitive gamer ka, tsaka may malakas ka na phone na madaling mag-init, magandang mag-cooler. So kung napapansin mo na naglalaro ka tapos may mga FPS drop performance issues, then kumuha ka ng cooler. Maganda yun. Maliban sa performance, meron din tong astig factor. Cool na cool yung look pag ganito yung cooler mo. This cooler actually works. Special na pag na-pair mo siya ng compatible na charger, Red Magic charger, Tranyu, or the Ugreen charger, yung may PD 3.0 and PPS switcher, then it works perfectly good. Sa lahat ng sinabi ko dito na device, I'll go ahead and post a link kung gusto nyo bumili nito. May mga next na cooler naman akong itetest. Etong Plexstone, etong Blue Wow na may battery, etong FlyDigi B8X. We'll go ahead and test this all sa mga next videos ko and abangan nyo yun. Subscribe to me here kung gusto nyo makita yung next videos and thank you so much sa panonood. Take care na muna, okay? Bye-bye!